Hello and welcome to the 81st installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast.
Got you with that one.
So, I'm your host, Chris, and this is our co-host, Jordan.
That's me.
That's him.
As always, find us natively on youtube.com with a video platform. And as always, in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, and of course Pocket Cast, my app of goddamn choice. They still haven't given us no goddamn money. And the RSS feed linked below. Import it to your favorite media consumption app. Listen to us there. And contact us, YouTube comment section or via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. We also have Instagram, TikTok, linked below. Check them out. Do it. Or you'll be the one with death threats.
Jordan,
Yes.
what's been going on the last 2 minutes?
Well, this hasn't been happening in the last 2 minutes, but it has been in my mind.
Okay.
That new fucking Reddit update makes
There's a
me
new
so
Reddit update?
fucking angry, dude.
There's a new Reddit update?
Yeah, to the video player. You see it?
To what, the mobile app? I
Yeah.
don't use the mobile app. I don't use the official one.
Oh, Chris.
You know what? I don't use the official one. You know why? Because it sucks.
Chris, you want to know something? Want to know something cool?
Yeah.
So Reddit's video player is kind of notoriously shitty, but you know, you're going through Reddit, you're just scrolling through your feed, and you see r/this posted a video, and you're like, alright, cool, hit play. You might have to hit the little audio symbol to turn on the audio. No problem. Well, if you try to do that now, it takes you into a TikTok mode.
Oh, yeah, so here's a pro tip for you. Use Boost as your client. Boost for Reddit. It is a client that has worked pretty much exactly the same for the last 5 years.
I might have to because now
And it's literally
it's so shit.
It's like you just scroll, and when you have a video, you click on the video and it plays the video, and then you scroll out of the video, and then you hit an image and it shows you the image, and you download the image and you scroll out of the image.
So honestly, I wouldn't mind if you clicked the video, it brought it up, and you swiped up, and then you moved on. However, when you hit a video, it brings the video up in like a TikTok format where it shows upvote, downvote, comment, share. But when you swipe up, which is what I naturally thought to do to exit the video, it takes you to another video.
Yeah, that's how it
like
works
TikTok.
That's how it works on Boost. You swipe up and it dismisses the video, it closes it out.
Oh, so you mean it's like intuitive? Like it does what you know your brain naturally thinks it should do.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I even paid $4 to get the ad-free version.
Shit.
So that's yeah.
It's like this many dollars.
That's like that many times 2.
Yeah, and then you do a little
Yeah.
a little cross section. Why did we just touch each other? It's kind of icky, stinky.
I'm gripping you.
You are kind of gripping me. It's kind of making me a little,
I'm gonna rip
little saucy.
your new Tom and Jerry sweatshirt.
I'll be honest, dude. No word of a lie. If you rip this sweatshirt, I will blow your head off with a 12 gauge.
Oh shit! Say no more.
No, this sweatshirt, by the way, I don't know if you noticed. I gotta stand up for this one.
Bro's got the Tom and Jerry drip on, bro.
It's got Tom running through the pocket. Check this shit out.
Jerry's on your sleeve.
And Jerry's on the sleeve, right? He's running from Tom.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like one fell swoop, one continuous motion. So
A little,
the logo's kind of fly. I ain't gonna lie.
It's a little cartoon.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, dude. The logo's kind of mint right on the chest. I like the location. I like the color. I like the size.
You like the Tom? You like the Jerry?
I like the Thomas. I like the Jerris.
Jerris.
Actually, I was kind of upset because I read that Jerry's name is actually Jeremiah.
Why is that upsetting to you?
That's a stupid name. If you're named Jeremiah, don't fucking listen to my podcast.
Okay.
Chris is like, well, shit, I just changed my name, bro.
Shit, my name's actually Jeremiah Chris.
It's Chris Jeremiah Jenkins.
Chris Jeremiah.
Jeremiah squared.
So,
Squared.
do you think you have enough Tom and Jerry stuff to make a full outfit? Like, do you have, like, pants and the whole thing?
I don't have pants, but I do have a hat.
So
And I did have socks.
You have a t-shirt, you have socks. So if we get you some Tom and Jerry pants, you could have a full Tom and Jerry fit.
Yeah. I gotta find the hat though. I honestly might have got rid of it a long time ago, but I did. I did
Oh,
have
and
the
some
hat.
Tom and Jerry shoes.
Yo, get me some Tom and Jerry Dirty Buds. I just be rocking the Tom and Jerry Buds.
It's like the same size as a Galaxy Bud, so it has like a very tiny picture of Tom on one and a really tiny picture of Jerry on the other, of Jeremiah. What if the show the whole time was called Thomas and Jeremiah? Would you still like it?
I don't know, man. Maybe that was the original pitched name.
Thomas and Jeremiah.
Thomas and Jeremiah. I don't know where the name Jeremiah or Jerry came from for the show because Thomas or Tom made sense because it's like a tomcat. But like I don't say, yo, it's a Jerry mouse. Like what the fuck?
It's a little mouse guy.
It's a Jerry bitch. It's a rodent.
It's a little mouse.
This is probably gonna be
mouse guy.
This is an important piece of information that I think we need on the record.
Yeah.
So I need you to put your hand, put it on the dirty keyboard, right? The stuffed keyboard.
Okay, yeah, like this right hand to God kind of thing.
Yeah, this is the swear of truth. What's your favorite character, Tom or Jerry?
Oh, Jerry. He's a menace.
All right. For me, it's Jerry as well. So I'm glad. I was afraid you were gonna say Tom because unfortunately, if you said Tom, not only would I kill you, but the podcast would be over. So
Jerry's a menace.
Jerry's the man, dude. My dad likes Tom because my dad doesn't like little fucks like Jerry who are just fucking with someone. He's like, I want Tom to win.
I don't know. You're a little fuck, so.
No, I came out of a little fuck, you know. There's a little fuck that happened, and I was just like, what up, bro?
Dude.
But like Coyote and Roadrunner, he likes the Coyote. He wants the Coyote to win. He's like, kill
Jerry
that fuck.
doesn't fuck around, bro. Do you see the time that Tom put a shotgun in Jerry's little house and he spun it around? Jerry spun it around and Tom shot himself. You saw that?
Hell yeah, baby.
Blew his whole face off.
Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah, baby.
You ever see the time that oh man, what did he do? He like burnt his tail with a candle or something?
Yeah.
And he went ah!
As he like jumps.
He goes ooh! Or some dumb shit like that. Tom and Jerry goes crazy.
Dude, Tom and Jerry hits different. But no, I have this jacket, which I just got like last week at Walmart. I saw it and I was like, bruh. Actually, I think Letsy saw it and she said, Letsy saw it and she went ooga booga and pointed out and I just went, bruh.
Is that what she does?
Yeah.
Ooga booga boo.
And I have the shirt. That I have two figurines that a coworker bought, so they're even more sentimental.
Oh yeah,
to me.
yeah. I was there when you got them.
So it's even more sentimental to me. Yeah. No, Tom and Jerry be like, it's my shit, dude. It's my favorite cartoon ever. You know, like I used to get hype as a kid when SpongeBob would come on, but like Tom and Jerry would come on, and it was like, everyone shut your mouth.
SpongeBob's a big contender.
It's a huge contender for sure.
Love SpongeBob, but I do really like Tom and Jerry. I haven't watched a Tom and Jerry episode in a long time.
It's a good time.
They would have like all the original reruns on like Cartoon Network. And you just put them on. Yeah. And I was like, damn.
You just forget all your troubles as like a fucking 6-year-old.
And then I remember actually like looking at like the information on the cable box. Where it'll tell you like original year of release or whatever, and I saw it was like in 1957 or something. I'm like, whoa!
Yeah.
I thought this came out like last week. What is this?
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. But yeah, no. Tom and Jerry do be schlap. I love it.
There was that movie recently, wasn't there?
Yeah, that's what this logo is actually from.
You saw it, didn't you?
Yeah. This logo is actually from the.
I can't imagine it was very good.
It was a good movie, but it wasn't like a fucking masterpiece film. Okay. Like if you went there for some Tom and Jerry shenanigans, it's a good time.
Yeah.
I think I talked about it on the podcast.
You definitely did.
And I said literally like it was a good time, but it wasn't a good movie. Like
I think that's right. This is where I get annoyed with like film critics because they're like they watch like Fast and Furious and give it like an academic critique. No.
Yeah. They're like the plot has some plot holes in it.
Who gives a fuck? You go to the theater, right? I'm not exactly like a smart man, but I'm not exactly stupid either. Yeah. I understand that this movie's a piece of shit. But like you go to the theater and you watch it and you're like, "Oh, there's explosions and they're doing fuck shit. This is stupid. I like this."
Yeah.
I'm not like, Yes, but in the original movies, they did this, and it doesn't line up with the character that's in this movie now.
And what doesn't make sense as well, Chris, I'm glad that you brought that up, because what I'm noticing as well is that when he went off that ramp at 60 miles per hour,
Yes,
he really should not have been going any faster than 58 miles per hour after 1 second.
Theoretically, he could not have been going faster than 57 miles per hour, and he theoretically could not have gone higher than 14 and a half feet, because if he hit the ground, he would have collapsed his suspension. It's completely unrealistic.
And don't forget the part where he grabbed the woman off the cliff. Her arm would have came off.
Her arm would have popped right off.
Like a fucking Barbie doll.
That's where
you draw the line.
That's why I hate movie critics. They're so, like, up their own ass about movies.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of good movies. Like, I'm in a film class right now. And some of the movies we watch are pretty good. Yeah. And then some of them are like, oh, this one kind of sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. But I never, like, would watch, like, I don't know. When we watched Godzilla vs. Kong.
We weren't there to be like, this is going to be a masterpiece.
I didn't walk in expecting, like, The Godfather. I was like, oh, I'm going to see a big monkey punch a big lizard. Now I'm down.
And even that had a pretty good story, too,
And
honestly.
even then, like, the development for King Kong, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It wasn't, like, again, it wasn't a masterpiece.
Yeah, but it was good.
But it was, you know.
Yeah.
So, I think, like, you know, if you're making film critiques and you find a movie that's bad, but it's popular for a reason. And the reason it's popular is not because it's good.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, people...
It has enough explosions and special effects to keep people entertained.
People will remember a movie for the emotions they felt, or a game, or a TV show. So if you bring a bunch of people to see this movie and they feel, like, attached to this character, even if the story sucks, and they feel attached to this character and they feel sad at that character's downfall, they're going to associate that emotion and be like, man, I remember being, like, really, like, into this and, like, engrossed. Even if the story's shit, if they can relate and feel the emotion, that's what they're going to hold to it. They're not going there to be like, you know, in scene 57, act 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no. Like, no one goes to, like you said, Fast and Furious to be like, yo, Vin Diesel, like, he's going to give this soliloquy of just beauty. No, he's going to blow shit up. He's going to hit ramps. He's going to fucking flip cars. Yeah. And that's what people are there for. They're there to eat popcorn, look at explosions.
Yeah, you're going to look at explosions. It's not going to be like Vin Diesel steps out center stage and he hits that fucking to be or not to be.
That is the question.
And then at the end, he's like, oh, it's all about family. And then he dies. He blows up. In real life, like, they actually blow up Vin Diesel.
They didn't tell
real.
him. He just showed up on set and they killed him.
They showed up and they took this. He ate a sandwich before filming, and it was full of gunpowder. And they had him eat a match. He just blows up.
A sandwich of gunpowder. Okay, it's kind of gravelly, man.
This thing kind of tastes like gunpowder a little bit.
It's got a little bit of gravel in it. Don't worry about it.
It's a little crunchy.
You want me to eat that match? I'm on it. I got pica anyway. Eats it and then he just fucking explodes.
I think we made a logical conclusion to the Fast and Furious series.
Yeah, I think so. Dude, I do have to bring up one thing that I saw that really disturbed me. On the topic of movies and directors, because I was going to say the director just shoots him at the end of the movie. And then it just...
Well, you know...
They close... Yeah. The what the fuck? You have the word for it. You've told me it before. What's the...
A slate.
A slate. Yeah, there you go. They just... fucking close it like, all right, good, we're done.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. He's like,
he's bleeding out.
But anyway, I saw something on the old Reddit right before the downfall.
Old Reddit.
Right before the downfall of, I can't remember, Dan Schneider on set.
Oh, yeah, well, no, everyone knows he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, and the stuff that was done. And I had never followed it. I'd always heard about it, and I was just kind of like, yeah,
he's like a publicly known pedophile.
Dude, there's some weird shit out there. There's some weird shit. Don't go in that rabbit hole. It'll bother you, because I saw a video of behind the scenes, and I was like, this is just...
And he was like really touching on that underage child. That's
weird. It was
bro.
Miranda Cosgrove's 18th birthday. And there was just some odd stuff. And it's not even the stuff that's happening. Like, if you just saw that at a glance, you might be like, oh, that's a little weird. But the person that it's happening to, the facial expressions they make, is what sells it. It's like, if I just saw that, I'd be like, oh, yeah, whatever. And maybe be a little bit like, oh, he's a little too close to someone he's not related to. But, like, you see that he's like, hey, and they're literally like this. They're like, yep.
Please don't touch me. Please don't.
And they have their, like, eyes closed, like, literally like they're going into shell shock. And I'm like, this is fucked, dude.
Yeah, that's not a good move.
Not good.
Yeah. Dan Schneider, not
Why does he still exist?
Person. I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
Why has no one just got rid of him?
I don't know.
Why is he not canceled?
I'm pretty sure Nickelodeon doesn't do any business with him anymore.
I would hope not. But, like, he should be canceled. Like, we cancel. The cancel culture cancels fucking everything.
Because I seem to remember hearing that his studio got shut down.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he's not allowed within 3 kilometers of a child.
We just put him on the moon. I think my favorite Dan Schneider moment is when he authorized a PR campaign for, I think, iCarly, where he would have children write a message on their feet and send pictures of them to be posted on Twitter. That's a real thing that he'd, like, actually for real.
Are you fucking kidding
I'm not even joking. I'm not even, like, doing a bit. This is, like, 2000... I don't know. iCarly was starting, like, kicking off, so this is, like, maybe sometime between, like, 2008 and 2011.
And you know what's so fucked up about that? Like, that almost sounds familiar, where I remember, like, hearing about it while I was a kid. But as a kid, you wouldn't even think twice about that.
Exactly. So that's why it's like, extra fucked. And
that's so fucked up.
It's, like, I'm not even doing a bit. That's, like, an actually real thing that he did.
That's crazy.
So, you know, there's that.
I mean, at least I had the courtesy to, like, ask you to sign a message on your cock.
Yeah.
The shortest letter I've ever received.
You know, shit, I was down for it, you know?
Yeah. So, I knew you were a man of few words, but you got a pretty good message with those few words.
I was a man of one letter, maybe.
Maybe.
That's what it said.
It's like Oscar. It's like Oscar when he meows. Ah.
That is what Oscar does. He goes, he's like a duck. He goes like, ah.
Yeah, he kind of does.
Chunk does not shut the fuck up.
Oscar's going through a phase. He doesn't shut the fuck up either. He's not shutting the fuck up, dude. I thought he was dying for a while. I'm like, can you just stop talking?
Can you shut up, dude? I'm trying to play Dying Light 2.
I know. I'm like, bro, I'm fighting zombies.
He's having a seizure on the ground.
I'm like, bro, shut up.
He stops. He takes your headphones off. He looks at you and goes, Jordan, I require medical assistance.
It's like life alert. Pushes the button. My watch is going off. It's like, your cat is fucking dying. I'm like, dude, no, now,
he
really?
Stops. He walks in on 2 legs.
He's like 5'8".
He's taller than you. He's like 6'4". He walks in. He takes your headphones off.
He pauses the game.
He goes, Father, I require medical assistance. And then he falls to the ground.
And then he's back to normal size.
And he's like, shit, man, I would do that for you, but, like, there's no vet in a 150-mile radius that will accept you. So...
I'm like, man, I bring him to the vet. I'm like, hey, they pull out a 12 gauge. I'm like, okay, I got it. I got the hint.
Hey, so you're back for that euthanasia? Oh, he, like, needs actual attention? No, we can't do that.
Yeah, no. The only thing we're willing to do here is we'll
put him down. Like, quick.
Like, real quick. Yeah,
we'll put him in the wood chipper out back.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Tail first, though. Make it,
Yeah, you gotta see what his face looks like. Where he goes, ah! He sounds like a person, too.
He's there. I just have this really vivid image, like more vivid than it should be, of like a 6'4" cat on hind legs getting sucked in, going, ah! Help me! Oh man. There's definitely a collective half a brain cell between us.
Oh yeah, I have this. Like the old DVD thing where it would you would have it paused for a certain amount of time, and like the DVD logo would pop, like bounce around.
That was good physics.
That's what my brain. I have one brain cell that does that, and if it bounces off the corner, I have
a synapse.
I have one thought, and that's it.
That's a fucking synapse right there. Oh, man. Or maybe it's the opposite where you're just thinking, and then when it hits the corner, it's a Synapse Misfire. And you're just like, other cat and wood chipper.
You know how it is. I actually saw, I think on Reddit, someone referring to a little fuck up they had as a Synapse Misfire.
Nice.
Not a reference to us, I imagine, but
Yeah. No, for sure. I have to say, I thought back about this podcast about to when we thought of the idea.
I'm like, damn, this thing sucks.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man, we really failed that idea. No, I'm just thinking of it's just mind-boggling to me to even reminisce about the fact that in physics class we were like, yo, we should do a podcast.
Well, we should do a podcast.
Do you remember? I don't really remember too much about it. Do you remember going through the different name ideas? A couple of different names. And the best one was this one, essentially, which I guess isn't saying much, but the other names were bad. Should have named it Two Bros in a Hot Tub.
Right next to each other because they're really gay.
Inside each other actively.
Not but not even in a sexual kind of way. It's like his hands. His hands are he's just rooting around in my organs.
I just cut a hole.
Yeah, he's
keeping it warm. It's like this jacket. It's like this jacket with the follow pocket, but instead it's Chris's stomach. Just
yeah.
Hey, bro.
He's like, hey, bro, let me get that. I'm missing a kidney. I need one of them. And he just goes. He takes it and he pops it into his body.
It's like a USB-C port. I'm like, oh, hang on. There we go. Got that plugged in. But yeah, dude, this podcast, 81 episodes, Chris.
81.
I feel like it just keeps going up. I think that's how numbers work, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The more episodes we make, the higher the quantity. Is that how that... Hang on. So that's actually crazy. Is that directly proportional? The number of episodes we make equates to the episode number? I just realized the two go hand in hand.
Yeah, so we make one and then the episode number is one more than the last one.
Yeah.
So it is, so it's one more and then it adds one more onto the number.
That's kind of weird, actually. I'm surprised it worked out that way.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We must have just got lucky.
Yeah, we must have really had to... Well, we put a bit of thought into it, though, so...
Yeah, but I thought of into it. Yeah, I do have to say, what's really unsatisfying about our channel, though, that straight up pisses me off, is every single episode is a podcast, and then we have IRL videos, except for episode 13. It's an IRL video.
Yeah, it's technically an IRL.
It's Cannibal Holocaust. It's a good fucking video. It has a lot of views, actually. But
yeah, I saw it yesterday. It's 1,000 or 1,200 views or something.
Yeah, it has a lot of views, which is kind of saddening. But anyway, that's what unsatisfies me. But Chris, what have you been up to? I had my soliloquy about the Reddit update, and then that took us down a rabbit hole.
So, you were complaining. Reddit update. Sorry, this is some kind of malfunction happening here.
It's a Synapse Misfire.
A microphone misfire. So, you were complaining about Reddit. Now, I'm going to complain.
Something that you're good at. Okay.
So, I saw on TikTok. This is kind of an older video because I've seen it before. And I'm not sure if it was this person's trying to make a joke or not. It might be a Poe's Law kind of thing. But
yeah,
my point still stands. It was this girl who was upset that she put $15 in her gas tank and it only gave her a quarter tank. Now, this annoys me, right? Because gas is getting expensive. That's an unavoidable fact. I think I paid $3.45 a gallon the other day.
Yeah.
So, gas is getting pricey. But if you drive a pickup or a big SUV or some big gas guzzler like a V8 or something, you have no business complaining about gas prices. You know what you signed up for. You're like, oh, well, my truck gets 13 miles a gallon. I hate this. Thanks, Joe Biden. Well, he didn't make your truck do that.
Yeah. Not to mention your gas gauge isn't 1-to-1.
That's also true.
Most of them are floating tanks, so it's not half a tank. It's the first half might be equivalent to 40%, and then the second half
That's also
might
true.
be the other 60%.
That's also true.
Usually it's for the last quarter is the most. Usually.
If you drive a pickup or something, You have no business complaining about gas mileage or gas prices because you know what you signed up for.
No, but
that's like signing up for a show, signing up for a TV show as the called guy who gets kicked in the nuts really hard as the role guy who gets kicked in the nuts really hard, and then signing a release waiver saying you're gonna get kicked in the nuts really hard, and then getting kicked in the nuts really hard, and then complaining that your nuts hurt. You know what you signed up for. You signed up to get kicked in the nuts
really hard,
and then you get upset when you get kicked in the nuts really hard.
But no, see, Chris, this is where I think I'm gonna have to disagree with you, right? Because listen. I think that it's incorrect. I think you're incorrect, and I think that if I went out right now and I bought an F-350 Super Duty, right, and I filled that tank, right, it should cost the same as my Cobalt.
So,
even though my Cobalt has a 12-gallon tank or a 13-gallon tank, and that F-350 has a 28-gallon tank, I think it should be the same. I think a tank is a tank, and you're wrong.
Yeah. So that's not how that works. I don't think.
But it does. It's price per tank.
Oh shit, maybe you're right. But
Imagine.
Going back to my point.
Dude.
When I bought my Chevrolet Suburban,
Chevrolet baby,
5.3 liter V8.
You knew what you signed up for.
Massive vehicle, like 6,000 pound vehicle, massive SUV. And then it cost me like. And this was when gas was cheaper. It cost me like $65 or $70 to put a tank into it. Full tank. And I was like, man, that's a lot of money, but I'm not going to complain because I willingly bought this vehicle knowing it was going to take a lot of money to
and
fill
also
it.
had a much more efficient vehicle at home too that you could have been using.
That's also true. So it's like if you drive a massive SUV or a massive truck and you don't need a massive SUV or a massive truck, and you can afford to get rid of the massive SUV and massive truck to get a small economy car, you have no business complaining about gas mileage.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, my F-250 gets 8 miles to the gallon. Yeah, no shit.
But Chris, you don't understand. I bought an F-350 because I moved when I bought it, so I needed to move that furniture. But now I haven't moved in 12 years, but I still have that F-350 because I might move eventually. I don't use it for anything. I work an office job. But I might move eventually. And sometimes I put my groceries in the back.
You must get a lot of groceries then.
Yeah. Family of 15.
You know what was another thing that annoys me, speaking of F-350s?
Uh-oh.
People who buy duallys just to have. Like the dual rear tire setup. Just to have them.
Yeah.
Right? Not only in like a lot of states, you need, number one, you need commercial plates for them.
Yeah.
I know where we live, you need commercial plates. In California, you need commercial plates on all trucks, I think.
Yeah. Anything that's over like a certain... They just changed that like a couple years back, I think, right? We talked about it on the podcast.
So you need commercial plates, number one. So it's more expensive to have. And if you don't tow like a gooseneck or something, you don't need that dual rear wheel. If you want to get a diesel truck, get a single rear wheel. It's going to be cheaper. You're going to save a lot more money on tires, a lot more money on maintenance, and it's going to be a lot slimmer, and you don't need the extra tires, okay? If you're not regularly putting 2,500 pounds in the bed, if you're not regularly towing a gooseneck trailer, you don't need an F-350. Even like an F-250, you can do like a gooseneck trailer, or you don't need to tow 30,000 pounds. I sincerely doubt you'll need to tow 30,000 pounds regularly.
I gotta bring my whole PC setup, man. My whole apartment comes with me everywhere I go.
The whole apartment?
Just drag it around.
Because like a new like like GMC Sierra 3500, that will tow like 30 to 35,000 pounds with a dually.
Yeah.
And then like the single rear wheel can do like 20,000 pounds.
15,000 pounds matters, man.
So shit, I mean, for those people who need that, sure, that's great. But like, when are you going to tow 10,000 pounds? When are you going to tow 8,000 pounds even?
Yeah.
Like even a big camper, I'm talking like a 25, 30 foot camper. That shit's only like 8,000 or 9,000 pounds.
Yeah.
You could tow that with an F-150.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it's foolish. It's foolishness. You don't need that.
It's a dip measuring contest. Usually.
Yeah, because it's just something that reminds me, because I saw a truck yesterday. It was a dually. I think it was an F-350 that was, oh man, it was lifted a stupid amount. And it had these dumbass tires on it. And like, okay, so you took this work truck that's meant to tow and haul things, and then modified it in such a way where you can't tow or haul things because the hitch is too high to put a regular trailer on, and the bed is now too high to put a gooseneck on. So you just literally made this work truck useless.
But it's big, and it makes me look like man.
Oh shit, a wallet.
Shit.
How much money you got, bruh?
$10.
Oh shit, I'm rich.
$10 hair. No, I agree though. It's yeah.
I like, and this annoys me too, because I really like trucks, and I have no business having a truck. But I understand that I have no business having a truck.
And it's not like the truck you have. Like, okay, yeah, sure, the truck you had you didn't need, but you're not buying a fucking dually to be like, I like truck.
I bought a Canyon. Okay, it has 5 cylinders. Didn't really have much towing capacity.
It's like the beta truck.
I bought it because it was small. Specifically because it was small. It was stick shift and it was 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
That's
which is what you wanted out of a truck.
And then now, like, I'm looking at buying, because I want something that's small, stick shift, and 4-wheel drive. I'm looking at a Tacoma.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy one anytime soon, but I'd like to have one at some point.
Yeah.
Because, like, a decent condition one, even with, like, higher mileage, is, like, $12,000 or $15,000. So,
wow.
Because you got to pay truck price. You got to pay now, 2022, you have to pay markup, then truck tax, then Toyota tax. So you get banged every way possible.
Yeah.
And you have to pay manual tax, because people are like, oh, well, I have a manual. Good luck finding another one. The manual Tacomas are fairly common, but, like, they're not nearly as common as the automatics.
Yeah. It's still rarer. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And it's even rarer if it's the V6. So most of the manual ones that I've seen have the 4-cylinder engine.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a 4-cylinder Tacoma.
Yes, the 4-cylinder, like, base model, and it's like, I don't really care. I know it's gonna be, like, a lot slower, but I don't really care, and I don't need it to, like, haul things, like, really. So
yeah. Besides, like, basic shit, like fucking maybe some wooden tools. Like.
Maybe some wood, maybe a couple of tools.
This fat ass.
Yeah, my fat ass. I gotta haul that, but my car does that, so
you should be okay.
I should be fine. But,
hey,
that's my piece.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, did you see any of the reviews for the Steam Deck? I totally forgot to bring this up to you, and I didn't even put it on the notes.
I'm gonna be honest. I forgot that actually, like, was released and, like, out until recently.
Yeah, so the Steam Deck for consumer use comes out in 13 days. Like a day or two ago.
Okay, so it's not, like, fully out. It has, like, a press release thing right now.
Yeah, 13 days from now.
Because I saw that a handful of people on YouTube had them. And I didn't bother watching reviews because it's not really something I watch anymore.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's probably fine.
Yep.
And I just didn't bother looking into it.
So I don't look into, like I said.
I did see a TikTok about it.
What
I saw a TikTok. It was a guy. He had I think he had Windows 11 on his.
Oh, really?
He was showcasing that it fully works with Windows and whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't watch reviews or read reviews or anything. I just kind of look at, like, general consensus. Like I said about the Steam reviews on Dying Light 2.
That being
last
said,
episode.
I think this is kind of like just general good consumer advice. I want it to be in the hands of people first. Not, like, I trust a person who has one and bought one with their own money and has no stake in, like, having a good relationship with Valve. More so than I'll trust, like, a Linus Tech Tips review. No shade to Linus Tech Tips because he does excellent stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, he still has an incentive to be a little
friendlier with it.
A little friendlier, because if it sucks, he has to still kind of keep a relationship with Valve, because maybe they'll send him stuff still.
Yeah. So he was one of the reviewers that said, I have 2 quotes that stuck with me. I don't remember which one was Linus and which one was like another third party. But the first quote was that it's the most innovative piece of gaming hardware in 20 years.
No shit.
And the second was that it's exactly everything you could hope for.
The sub 1 minute of footage I've seen it having it used, it looked decent.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited. I'm not gonna.
It looked big though. I was
Have you
expecting
seen
it
the
to. I was
size
expecting it to
comparisons?
be real thick.
Dude, the size of the deck is fucking insane. It is a fucking chunky motherfucker. Like, if they didn't supply a case, I'd be kind of pissed because
It's a big, it's a chumgish.
yeah, it's pretty big. I cannot type on this keyboard without looking. It is a big fucking piece of hardware. But it's pretty beautiful.
It's wide. It's
and
wide.
tall.
And is the screen bigger too?
It's taller, but it's the same width, I believe. Just about.
Huh.
Here's the overlay.
Because the Switch isn't like absurdly big.
Look at how thick it is, though. Like, you can't tell in the photo necessarily how thick it is, but it's
I've
big.
seen it on its side. It's like it's pretty thick.
So it's a big. I don't care personally. Like, to me, people want this to be like, oh, I can stick this in my purse and go.
You can
I don't
put it
care.
in a backpack.
I don't care. Like, and the deck comes with a carrying case, so I'm just gonna put it in that case and just carry it around.
It comes with a little man purse for it.
Yeah. So
you could put it in a backpack reasonably.
yeah. It's
and
awkward
same-
as it is, but if you
same
put
thing
it in
with
the
a
case,
Switch.
it's not that bad.
Same thing with a Switch. You just throw it on a backpack and it'll be fine. Yeah, I can imagine with the amount of stuff that's rammed into that tablet, I can see why it would be thicker and bigger than the Switch.
Yeah.
It is interesting. It is still impressive how small they were able to get it. But yeah, I don't think it's unreasonably large. You could definitely throw it in a backpack if you were going on a trip or something. And I feel like mine, honestly, is probably not gonna leave my house very often because I don't go on extended trips or anything anymore. Or like I haven't in a long time, where I'm like somewhere overnight, where I need like a gaming console. So.
Right. Now, you mentioned idiots on TikTok earlier, and I just wanted to bring something up that I saw that just really kind of irked me.
Yeah, you're really having a moment right now trying to type something in or find something.
I'm trying to find something. I don't remember what the fuck it was called. It was some sort of GPD device, which they make handheld laptops that are quote-unquote for gaming.
That one's got Red Dead 2 on it. You see that?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. But basically, here was the short and long of it. The Steam Deck, people were like, yeah, Steam Deck's cool, but it's too big for me. I need something portable. So what they did was they tried to present a use case, Chris, about how the Steam Deck was a bad value because of the size, because GPD makes another handheld with a Ryzen 7 and Vega graphics or Radeon graphics for $1,600. That's the size of the Nintendo Switch, a little tiny bit bigger than the Switch. So they were like, this is way more portable than the Steam Deck, so it's way better, and the Steam Deck is useless.
It's 4 times the price.
Yeah. So that really pissed me off when I saw that. I was trying to figure out the name. It's some sort of GPD product, but yeah. Yep. People were like, oh, I was hyped for the Steam Deck, and then I saw it, and now I'm disappointed. And
now I'm
going to
go spend more money on this other stupid thing. Yeah. Seeing those pictures that search result yielded reminded me, because it looked like super Chinesium. It reminded me of this thing I saw yesterday. There's this series of videos that I saw yesterday, and this is not gaming related usually, really at all. There was this guy who found a $2,000 electric pickup truck on like fucking AliExpress, and he like talked to the sales rep and everything and had it shipped to his house. And it's like this, and of course it didn't actually end up costing only $2,000, because it was like $2,000, and then you had to pay like another $1,000 to have a battery put in it, and then you need to pay like $3,000 to have it shipped from China to the U.S. because they have to put it on a big ass boat and they need to send it over, and then you have to pay freight to get it to your house because it weighs like 1,000 pounds. So anyway, but cheap little Chinesium pickup truck, and I'm gonna be honest, after seeing the video, I kind of want one. It's so neat.
Yeah.
It's like a little thing. It looks like the new model Silverados.
Yeah.
Where it has like the little emblem across the front, but it's really narrow.
Yeah.
And it has Explorer on the front.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's a neat little thing, and it's all told, even with all the extra shipping costs and stuff, it would be cheaper than like an electric golf cart or like it's a yard truck. You can't really. It's foreign. And it's not fast enough, so you can't. And it's missing some features and stuff, and you can't register it.
Yeah.
You can do some work to get it registered, but then there's only like certain places you can drive it. But it's a cool little yard truck, and it has like a bed, and it has like it's hydraulic, so you can like ding and dump whatever's in the bed. I think that's pretty neat, and it's surprisingly well kitted.
Yeah.
It has the battery in it, which you have to pay granted an extra like $1,000 for, is like 100 amp hours.
Wow.
It has heat and air conditioning, a Bluetooth radio, power windows. How is this thing so well optioned?
Yeah. It's a better option than my car.
High and low gears.
It's literally better option than my car.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And I kind of want one. I'm going to be honest. But it seems like a whole lot of hassle to get one.
Yeah.
And it would probably take, because the way the guy did it, he said that he talked to the sales rep, put the initial deposit down, paid for the battery. I think AC is an option. I think he paid extra for that. Then he had it shipped over. And then there's like an import charge you have to pay. There's like tariffs or something. You have to pay that so it can leave the shipping port. And then he had to pay another guy, like a hot shot. What do you call it? A hot shot hauler or hot hauler or whatever. The guy that it's just an independent guy who has an F-350 and a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
He had one of those guys pick it up and then deliver it like a few hundred miles out to his house. So I think it cost him like $8,000 total.
Yeah, all in all.
But it's all things considered, it's not that bad because if you get a basic electric golf cart with no options, it's gonna be open to the weather. It's not gonna have that utility bed on the back.
Especially
and
a hydraulic
certainly
one.
not gonna be hydraulic. It would cost you probably $9,000 or $10,000. So
yeah.
All things considered, at the end of the day, it's pretty good. And then he provided an update on it recently, who was like a 3-month or 4-month update or something. And it has held up surprisingly well. And I guess it gets used like daily as a little yard truck.
How do you charge it?
It has like a gas port on the side where you open it and you just plug it into the wall. I don't know the voltage of the charger though. Yeah. I'm assuming it's 240, but I don't know if that's a bold assumption to make or not.
Yeah.
I think China's standard power is 240 though. Like most of the world other than the US is 240.
Yeah. And 50 hertz.
Yeah. But there's some areas, because I've looked at like a graph, I think some areas in Japan are like 100 volts or something.
Yeah.
Or something stupid like that. Like 120 is honestly even like barely enough for some things.
Yeah.
Like I have a electric kettle, and electric kettles in countries that have 240 as standard work in like a third of the time as mine does.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's how like my apartment dryer is. It's 120 volt because it's made for an apartment, but like takes forever.
Yeah, or like air conditioners too. Like if you have a bigger air conditioner, you're gonna need a 240 plug for it, or even I think standard ones you need to have the for larger standard 115 ones you need to have it'll have that extra prong on it to make sure that you're plugging it into a 20 amp breaker.
Yep.
Power in the U.S. is weird.
Very weird.
Because, like, it is 240 coming into your house.
But we just decide to make it 120.
Yeah, we just decide that it's 120. But also, we have two standards. It's like, okay, some outlets are going to be 15 amps, and then some are going to be 20. And then the 20 amps, which don't always have the right plug on the end, have an extra little prong where there's certain devices that have the extra thing to make sure you're plugging into a 20 amp circuit, but you're not even 100% sure it's a 20 amp circuit. Yeah. So, and then if you have something that actually runs off 240, like a fridge or an oven or something like that, a washing machine, you have to go back to your box, your panel, and then you have to put in a different breaker that bridges the two lines, and it's a higher amperage breaker that gives you 240. So why not just do the whole thing as 240?
Yep.
Or like 240 30 amp is how I think it's set up for like fridges and stuff.
Yeah.
Why not just set it all up like that and have half as many circuits? And it would be just be easier.
Half as many headaches.
Yeah. It's foolish.
Yeah, not a lot made sense, honestly. But if it wasn't the standard 120 outlet style, I'd be pissed because you don't get the happy face.
Well, it's more of a surprise face.
True. But I guess not all surprises are happy, but, a lot of surprises are happy. Like, you probably weren't too happy when you surprisingly, lost your tire on the highway.
No, I was happy that I survived.
Happy that you didn't lose your head on the highway. Yeah.
Yeah. I was happy that I was in that right lane and I reacted real quick.
Yeah.
If that had happened to me when I was, like, earlier in my driving stages, if I was, like, 17 and that happened to me, I'd be like, oh, fuck, and I would have died.
Not even, like, you wouldn't have even crashed. You would have just been like, shit, and then just died.
I'd be like, oh, goddamn.
Yep, and then just straight up dead.
Oh, fuck, and my soul would exit my body.
You're like, Jesus, take the wheel. The wheel turns upside down. You're like, oh, shit.
Oh, shit, I forgot Jesus was 2,000 years old and he couldn't drive.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
So, you know what I want to hear about? SIFU.
Seafood?
I don't even have anything lined up for this.
Oh,
SIFU.
Brother.
What's it about? What's the deal with it?
All right.
I was gonna punch you in one of your organs real quick.
Fist right through the kidney.
Right into the liver.
Shit. All right. So SIFU. SIFU starts off, right?
What's your favorite SIFU? I like fish and chips.
I like shrimp.
What happened to your brain just then? What happened there?
Got a little too much seafood going on in
How
there.
do you...
No, I like shrimp. Lobster kind of grew on me for a bit. Salmon.
Lober.
But I'm also not a huge seafood guy.
Salmon kind of goes crazy,
nasty,
I'll
dude.
be honest.
Dude,
like
octopus is nasty. I don't like
octopus.
it. I had it prepared
I like
exquisitely.
squid. I like calamari. Like if you get fried calamari, that shit is like, it's like you're eating a tire.
Dude.
But it's good though.
Scallops didn't sit right with me. But
I don't really like shellfish that much.
Octopus,
I'll eat crab
crab's pretty good.
Or like lobster, but
yeah, I like
other
clams.
shellfish I'm not too crazy about.
Yeah, the octopus I had was prepared exquisitely. It was made the Portuguese style, so it had good flavor. But like, dude, I chewed that thing for fucking 80 years, and I was still just going in.
So. SIFU. What's that about?
SIFU, SIFU, not
yeah,
seafood. Yeah, F-U, actually.
My hands are really cold, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, yeah, what the fuck? Ow, my pinky just cracked.
I just broke all the bones in Jordan's hand.
Why are your hands so cold?
I got poor circulation or something, or turning into a corpse
circulation.
or something.
But anyway, SIFU.
I haven't moved in a while, that's probably why.
Start jacking it, just do it. Do it, please. I'm not gonna lie, you looked like you knew exactly what you were getting into there. Yeah, you looked practiced real well. Real well versed.
I had that down pat, bro.
Dude, like, perfect stroke rhythm, perfect distance of travel, like, just enough friction going on.
Friction.
The right amount of joules of energy spent, transferred into your shaft. Anyway, back to the main topic.
So SIFU, what's that about?
So SIFU starts off. So SIFU, for those who don't know, which most people probably do, but you might not, is basically a karate game. It's made by the people who made Absolver, which was like a multiplayer karate game, but this one's straightforward, single-player, linear adventure. And essentially, the game is a beat-em-up, but it's not what you would think. So the game starts, and you're just playing as a dude, and you're just like kicking ass. You're like, yeah, this is cool.
You're like a South Florida karate instructor.
Pretty much. No, you're like this really badass guy. You're just beating the shit out of everyone. You fucking break into this temple. You fight this guy who's called SIFU. It's just basically like master.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you kill him. And you're like, damn, that's pretty gnarly. And then you realize, wait a minute, I'm playing as the villain.
Oh,
so then your character comes out and they're like 8 years old, and the villain slits their throat. Straight up kills this child. Ends this child's life, Chris.
Nice.
However, the child has been entrusted with a medallion. And that medallion, I forget what the fuck it's called, but that medallion allows them to live.
Oh, okay.
So
dumbass kid's dead now. Now medallion doesn't mean shit.
So the medallion revives the kid, but it ages them. So your character spends the next 8 years basically training to hunt down the 6 killers that essentially attacked.
Wait, hang on. I've heard this one before. You're like a guy who has been wronged by some people, and your mission is to hunt them down and kill them.
Yes.
And presumably over the course of this journey you gain special abilities based on your character's skills.
Yeah.
So it's like that one game, that like negative 85 out of 10 game, that terrible piece of shit cyberpunk game, Dying Light 2.
Yeah.
Where they made that worse than Cyberpunk, worst launch I've ever seen. Same exact story, like I said in the last episode. A lot of video games have that story. Same story. I bet this is an excellent game.
Yes, this game's fucking great. So, what it is essentially is you set out for vengeance. You start at the age of 20 years old.
I'm 20.
You go into your first match, your first mission. I mean, there's 5 missions, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but you'll understand why.
Well,
it's 5.
It could also be. Well, I'm thinking about it this way. Like, Breath of the Wild only has, like, 15 story missions.
Oh, really? I didn't know
but that shit took me, like, 70 hours.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So
you have 5 main missions. The first one, you're hunting after the botanist. It's the one who actually slit your throat. And very quickly, you realize that the combat isn't your standard combat. It's not Assassin's Creed, like old Assassin's Creed, where it's like, punch, oh, this guy's about to hit me, hit circle, deflect, punch. No. This game requires you to master the actual combat. So you have light attack, heavy attack, a shit ton of combos, a block, but you can't block everything. You have a dodge.
Yeah.
And then, to take it a step further, you can't dodge everything. So what do? You have a duck and a jump. So or an overstep, we'll call it. So while holding the block button, certain attacks can only be avoided by pulling down on the thumbstick, or probably S on keyboard if you're playing on that for some reason. It's like the worst game for that, but basically back, your character will duck back. Okay. And then forward on the thumbstick will make them overstep. So if someone tries to sweep your leg, you overstep their leg.
So, in a sense, it's very like it's very Souls-like, where you have to kind of figure out the combat. Well, the combat in Souls is a lot simpler, but
yeah,
it's very much like, oh, okay, this enemy's doing this, and I know this enemy does that, so I have to dodge this way to avoid this attack. Or if I dodge this way, I can go around them and hit them.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of something like that. So the base enemies, no big deal. You might get hit a couple of times. You just do a basic dodge, kick the shit out of them, do some finishers. It's when you get to the more complex enemies that you quickly learn that what happens is you die, but instead of dying and being like, oh, game over, or reload your save point, you age. your character physically gets older. So you start at 20, you die, you turn 21.
Oh, so this little like party trick you can do. It's like infinite, kind of.
Yeah, up until a point. So you turn 21. Now you have a certain amount of time that has to go by, not like literally time of waiting, but like checkpoints, we'll call them, like any other game, where that death counter resets. So it adds. So you have one death, you age to 21. If you don't make it to the next checkpoint before you die again, it'll go to 2. And instead of being 22, you'll go to 23. It'll add 2. And then if you die again, it'll go to 3 and make you 26 because it'll add 3.
Okay.
So it just keeps... So you can stack it. So like if you're in a boss fight and you are getting wrecked, you could go into that boss fight at 20 and fail the game. End at 70 and just die. So it quickly stats.
I think it would be funny if they just didn't have a limit. So like you would, at the end of the game, you would be like 185 years old. You're like this decrepit, disgusting old man, but you're a complete menace because you haven't actually existed for that much time. But the exterior of your body looks that. But inside, you still got like 20-year-old bones.
Yeah.
So you're just a menace. They're like, oh, it's a feeble old man. This guy should have been dead 80 years ago. And then he just kicks the fucking shit out of people.
Pretty much. But that's essentially how the life and death system works. And
that's interesting.
What it does is you make it through this first mission, you try to kill the guy, you get the next mission unlocked. And it makes you think, like, you're like, oh, that's not bad. You know, maybe... On your first go, you start at 20, you end off at 30. You're like, okay, I died either 10 or less times because you could have reset the counter or you could have died twice in a row and stacked or whatever. But there's a catch. Whatever age you finished the mission at, you can only be that age going into the next one.
Oh, that's got to be annoying as shit.
So, if you're 33 and you finish the first mission, you can only play the second mission starting at 33. So every time you fail it and restart, you are 33.
Oh, but there's only 5 you said, right?
Yeah. Makes you 33. So it makes you have to replay the previous missions to perfect your strategy to get a lower age. So for example, I beat the first mission, I was 27.
It's like golf. You have to play more of it to learn how to play less of it.
Pretty much. And also, keep in mind, it gets easier as you go because you unlock secrets and secret passages. So, for example, on the first mission, I beat the first mission, was like 27, got to the second mission, and got wrecked. Straight up fucking leveled. I didn't even make it to the boss. I just got leveled.
Does it continue in that like weird progression where you said if you die, you're 21, and then you die again, you're 23, and then 26 or whatever? Does it continue that where like, oh, I'm level 33, but I die and now I'm like 39 or something? Or does it just go...
If you didn't reach a point where it reset the death counter yet.
Oh, okay, so it's based solely on the death counter. The death counter resets at the beginning of the mission.
Not necessarily. So it will reset halfway through a boss fight. So if you die in the second half of the boss fight, you'll go into the next mission with however many deaths racked up. And it resets like after each like checkpoint. So you go into a mission, you might bust through a door, take out a couple guys, go through another door, take out another guy, and then it resets. And then you go to the next area. So it'll reset kind of randomly. There's really no rhyme or reason per se as to when. But it does pretty much reset halfway through the boss fight. So and also I should have mentioned this. It doesn't reset to 0. It goes down 1. So if you're at 8, it goes to 7. It doesn't reset. I kept using reset because I never really get high enough. If I get to 7, I usually fail the fucking game. But you can pay to reset it with an in-game like token or whatever. So you go to these shrines that let you level up, or there's also an option to reset the death counter. So it's like a pay.
It sounds interesting. It sounds like you gotta learn the combat, and it's not like annoying. Like
no, the combat's super satisfying.
Like I always come back to shitty combat with Kingdom Come Deliverance. The combat in that game sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks dick. It is dog shit. Because you have to pick a direction. You have to look in that direction, and then you have to select a different way you're going to swing your sword. And it takes 35 seconds to plan one hit, and by that time you've been dead for 32 seconds. So And
Pretty
then,
much.
like the first mission where it's like, hey,
You have to
just
fight
gotta,
the guy?
or no, like the first mission after like the intro, because the intro is like 6 fucking hours.
Yeah.
You don't get a title screen until like 6 hours in. And then you do like their first mission as like a knight. And you're just like, take out these 2 bandits, they got something we need, or something like that. And then like you go up and you're like, oh, it's the first mission, it's an easy fight. You walk out and then you're like, hey, dickheads, come here.
Where the shit? Give me the shit.
And then they kill you instantly. They kill you instantly. And then you go back and you're like, okay, this is annoying.
You do that 10 more times.
And then you do that 15 times and you're like, you eventually just get frustrated. You're like, oh, the combat in this game sucks. And then because there's a tutorial, they teach you how to do the combat and you're like, oh, it sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So...
But yeah, no, the combat in this game is really good. It's obviously the best part. But like what I did was I did the first mission like I was saying before, and I made it to like 27, and I was like, oh, it's not too bad. I had plenty of time. Then I did the second mission, and I got railed. So what I did was I was like, you know what I need to do? I need to kind of grind a little and level up my character and get more skills. So literally this morning before the podcast, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I got like an hour till I got to get to Chris's. I was like, but I don't want to start Dying Light and then get into this big story mission. I'm like, what do I want to do? Let me hop on SIFU. So I went back and I started from the first mission because I'm only 2 missions in to the fucking game because it keeps kicking my ass.
After you finish that second mission, you are technically now 40% of the way through the game. So
technically. So I finished the first mission. And then I got railed in the second. I went back this morning. I restarted the first mission with my new, practice and understanding of the game mechanics, and I finished it without dying. So now I'm able to start that second mission at age 20, like nothing ever happened. So I was able to basically go back, use the tools, and now as well, when I start that second mission, I'm much higher level because I didn't fail at any point.
Yeah.
And I have a bunch of skills stacked where now my character gets a shit ton of health from finishers and also can beat the shit out of people with weapons.
So is it like a skill tree thing, or is it like, does it kind of stack as you continue your one life?
So skill tree.
Okay.
So you pay to do a skill. So for example, if a skill is 500 XP and it's let's just say a lead sweep, right?
You 500 get that, and you retain that regardless.
You keep it for that life, but every skill can be bought 5 times, and after buying it 5 times, you keep it. So you pay 500 XP, you get it. And if you spend 500 XP times 5, you keep it.
In a way, it's kind of like a roguelike where you kind of have different abilities that will stack during a certain life. And then after a certain
threshold,
after a certain threshold or like a certain point within the game, you will end up keeping them. Or if you do like a certain amount of things, you can like start your save with this.
Yeah, pretty much. And the same thing goes for like items. Like I got a set of keys in the first mission at the end after doing like a side boss or whatever. So now, if I wanted to replay the first mission just to get a lower age, I specifically replayed the main mission and went through all the hallways to get XP to level up. But if I wanted to just say, okay, I need to go back and get this with the lowest age possible, right through the main entrance after like the first room, there's a locked door that I can actually open that passes by half of the mission.
Oh, because now you have the key.
Yeah, same thing with the second level. I finished that one at 29, I want to say. I died a bunch in that second level on my attempt this morning, but I also have a key card now that if I want to get to the boss, I can go in, take out the first couple waves of enemies, go through a side door, and then take out like another, like maybe a quarter of the enemies left, and then I get to the boss. I can skip over everything else that gave me trouble.
So it's another element of Souls where it's like, you explore the map and you can either obtain certain things that let you do certain things.
Yeah.
Or you can find a path that is completely out of the way that lets you skip a portion of the game, essentially. Mm-hmm. Or, like, skip right to the boss. Because I know on a lot of Dark Souls, I think Dark Souls 3, maybe all of them, had these certain shortcuts where it's like, oh, if you get on this ledge a certain way and you look down, you can see there's a path under there, and you could just jump down, you skip, like, 3/4 of the level. And you just go to the boss.
Yeah. What this game needs, genuinely, it's so good. Like, not even an understatement. Like, you need patience. and that's something that I have a hard time with. That I was switching between this and Dying Light because I just kept getting so mad at SIFU. But
Yeah.
you need to just be patient and practice and be like, okay, it's not the end of the world if you die, kind of thing. Like, it's easy to be like, what the fuck, like, this sucks. But it's just the combat is so fun. But what this game really needs, and I pray that they add it. I would love like a wave survival style because the combat's the best part.
It's like an endurance thing where you just beat the fuck out of people.
Yeah.
Endlessly.
Or even like a god mode. Like, I'd love a god mode where I could do a survival and I could just fight and not have to be so concerned about dying and just like destroy
practice
everyone.
with the combat essentially
Yeah.
too.
And practice, yeah, and just destroy everyone. It would be so fun. So I hope they add something like that eventually, or some sort of DLC or something. Even co-op would be so sick too.
I got one more thing, keeping in the topic of
Gaming
and zombie games for the last couple
episodes.
But unfortunately, I'm gonna be talking about a bad game.
Hang on, so it's a bad game. It's a zombie game.
Yeah.
Is it recent?
No. So, did you have a? I forget. I feel like I've asked this. Did you have an Xbox 360 like back in like 2011, 2012?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was probably right around the time I would have switched to a PS3.
Okay, all right. Because I remember you. I distinctly remember you having a PS3, but I don't remember if you ever had the 360.
Yeah. I had both for a while, and then I got Red Ring of Death, and I was like, "Fuck this thing."
Yeah, that's fair.
And I just stuck with the PS3.
So, did you ever have a run-in on the Microsoft Indie Store with a game called Castle Miner Z?
I know the name, but I don't think I've ever played it.
Okay, so it was 80 Microsoft points, so it was $1. And
Dude, I missed Microsoft points in a way.
and
Weird.
I remembered that because I put so much time into it on the 360. It's like this shitty Minecraft clone, but it's zombies as well, and there's guns. So, I was thinking about it yesterday. I had a brief conversation about it. I think that's on Steam. So, I look on Steam, and sure enough, it's on Steam.
Oh, that's where I've seen it on Steam. I recognize that logo.
Yeah, it's $3.99 on Steam. So, like, shit. The 4-pack is $8. So, I bought the 4-pack last night, and I gave it to 3 friends. And we jumped in, because we, like, a bunch of us had played it on the 360. And we played last night. And it is dog shit. It is so bad. It's fun for a laugh, but it's like
With the boys, yeah.
Yeah. We had fun, and then it was a point where like, all right, this game sucks. We gotta stop playing.
This trailer makes it look actually pretty decent, funny enough.
Well,
That's
yeah,
weird.
but it's not. It's annoying to play. So it's such a goofy, like, stupid game. But we played that again, and it was good to play that as like for nostalgia, for just the nostalgia factor. But yeah, that just game sucks. More than it's better than I remember it being because they added some stuff on PC.
Yeah.
But it's still
And it
not
probably
great.
runs a lot better, too.
Oh yeah, I was locked at 144.
Huh.
So this game,
Has decent reviews, though, weirdly enough.
a lot of them are joke reviews.
Oh, yes. One review. Recommend. I got cancer. With 0.6 hours on record.
Yeah, so
Dude, I has fucking 22 hours on record, though? God damn.
I played this a lot on the 360. And I'll probably jump back into it again on PC at some point.
Honestly, maybe I'll have to get it. We'll have to play. Maybe we could do a Synapse Misfire video on it, dude.
It's so stupid. It's so goofy. The coolest thing about it is what you can do, what I remember doing, is you can boot into a save with enemies turned off.
Is
and
it
then
like
you
the creative mode?
No. You can just turn enemies off. And then you can go to block 3000. So you see that in the corner, the distance?
Yeah.
That's your distance from spawn. So if you go 3000 blocks out from spawn, there's a land that's just like made of resources. So it's essentially just infinite resources.
Oh, yeah, right here. I see there's a screenshot from 3300.
Yeah. So it's just like all diamonds and copper and gold and shit that's just sitting there on the ground just to take.
I was going to say, it's probably like a dev test zone. They do that shit all the time. They do that in Breath of the Wild. Where there's
Yeah,
like
but
dev
it's
test
like
rooms.
it's incredibly easy to get to.
Yeah.
So you boot up with enemies off, do that your first day, and then turn enemies back on when you have all this dumbass gear, like laser guns and shit, and then the game becomes a cakewalk. But like playing it on like just regularly was enough to be annoying.
Yeah.
And the zombies don't shut up. They are so loud. And it's the same sound effect, too. So you'll be walking, and you'll just hear... And then you'll be attacked by 37 zombies.
Jesus Christ.
And there'll be, like, big ones that, like, jump. And then the base pistol you get, you start with a pistol with 200 bullets, and it sucks. And then you just, like, get, like, 5 pieces of iron, and you make a shotgun. And you're just unstoppable for, like, the first, like, little bit of the game. And then you venture out, and it gets a little more difficult. And then you get, like, a fucking... You get, like, a iron shotgun or, like, a gold shotgun or some shit.
Okay.
And then you move up in, like, rarity. Yeah. It's such a stupid game.
I do have to say I wanted to play it with you, but I don't think I can. 2.8 gigahertz dual core, 100 megabytes of space, and a gig of RAM.
And
I'm not made of money here.
At least Windows XP, bro. I don't know.
I'm not made of money, unfortunately.
I'm
maybe
sorry.
maybe if I get a Steam Deck, maybe.
And it's $399. Like.
Yeah. Maybe if I get a Steam Deck, like I don't know.
Yeah, I booted it. I bought it, and I was like, yeah. I wonder if this piece of shit Xbox Live indie game will run through Linux compatibility tools. It ran flawlessly, genuinely.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Linux compatibility, do you know, is there a way for you to check if Bully is supported by Proton? I looked it up the other day, but then it got into fucking jargon that I didn't understand. So, I just want to know because the Steam Deck is using a version of Proton.
Well, yeah, it's because that's their thing.
Yeah.
Go look up Proton DB. It'll tell you.
Proton. Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, you freaking goon.
But yeah, no, I was curious because Bully is the first thing I want to fucking play.
Proton DB is like that's the move for Linux gaming. I know GTA 5 is pretty decent.
I was hoping Bully would be because it's older, but I mean, I don't know. It's probably not gonna be.
Well, you'd be surprised. Yeah, it's gold.
Oh, it's fucking gold. All right.
But
it also depends though.
You'll have to look at it too because you might have to do some like launch options and stuff, but usually it's not that difficult. And plus you can do a couple things to get a custom version of Proton that will work better in some cases. Because there's like custom Proton, this will work in some cases for some games, and then like some games need the regular Steam Proton. So yeah, it's just you get in the weeds with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah.
I'm done. Do that. Yeah, that's it. That's the end. That's it forever.
Yep. 81. That's all we made it to. Now I have immaculate anal fluid leakage.
You said what?
Your fucking face.
You said what? Anal?
You look like someone that got their ass kicked by SIFU.
What are you trying to say right now? So I narrow eyes?
No,
What are you, racist?
I didn't even think of that, actually. Shit. Fucking walked into that one. But, yeah, you done, Chris? You done? Officially over? Done with? Quitting? Done? Completely over it? Just not making it anymore? Done? Completely? Done?
Yeah.
All right. So, as always, if you want to find the podcast, you find us natively on youtube.com with a video platform. And as always, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, and Pocket Cast, my app of choice.
Pocket Cast, send us money.
Feed, please, for the audio version. And you can always reach us in the YouTube comments section or via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. We also have Instagram and TikTok. And yes, Pocket Cast, please send us money.
Pocket Cast.
I'm so tired all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm just going into like cardiac arrest. But anyway.
I think you're dying. I think you're having like some kind of hemorrhage.
some sort of hemorrhage. It must be. It's like a hemorrhoid. A hemorrhoided
You're
disc. That was
you're
funny.
having like some kind of brain thrombosis or something.
I got ligma.
Ligma ball. Oh.
Whoa!